guys? Welcome back to the Cozy Alchemist. I am your host, Ashley Darden, and welcome to my home. I hope you enjoy this video. I hope this is not the first time you are here because, friend, where have you been? But if it is, hi, welcome. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Today, we are going to be getting into some more of the graphic novels that I have hoarded from my local library. You know, it's November, right? And there was a week in November that was stressful. And so I was like, you can either deal with the stress of this outcome by spending a lot of money on books, or you could support your local library and just get a ton of books. And so I did. I got over 40. And I'm so thankful to my local library for allowing us to get as many books as we did, because I was like, I'm gonna spiral if I don't have something to read. And I want art, I want stories, I want different artists, but I can't get that by reading a novel very quickly. So my gratification was met with getting graphic novels, and so that's where we are today. And so today I'm going to show you the novels that I have read and have finished. Some of these are from the library and some of these are my own, and I'm just reintroducing them to you just in case you haven't seen any of the videos where I did talk about them. So we are going to get into that today, so stick around. All right, so my last video I did on the youth graphic novels, and so today we are going to get into the young adult graphic novels. Now, so I will say this, I don't know what it is about young adult graphic novels, but they are, to me, the majority of the graphic novels that I end up falling like I love are all young adult. And it's not a big deal. I just want to know, like, why is that? Why is it? I don't know if it's the themes that they hit that are like, oh, my inner teen is like, yeah, we needed this. Or if it's just the ability to talk about really, really deep topics in such a healing way. I'm not really sure what it is. Maybe y'all know if you are in the graphic novel space and you tend to like really enjoy young adult graphic novels, like young adult graphic novels kind of slaps, y'all. Like they kind of know what they doing. Like, don't come for the messenger, but yeah, I really love them. So let's get into this and let me share with you the graphic novels that I got and what I thought about them. Okay, so we are going to get into our first one, which is Artie and the Wolfmoon. This is going to be a home staple one. I am going to go find this and I'm going to purchase it for my home because I really, really enjoyed this. It is about a girl who finds out that she is from a werewolf lineage, first of all. And she finds this out because she sneaks out at night and she is in the woods because she likes to take pictures. She's a photographer. She enjoys that. And she stumbles upon a wolf, and then she sees it transform into her mom. Yeah, her mom. I mean, I don't know how else to be like, honey, there's something I have to tell you, other than your mom and you being like, so do you come here often? In the middle of the woods on a full moon night. And you know what? I loved it. It was so good. I loved the way her mom dealt with it. I loved how she ended up learning about her history and that there are actually tons of towns where they turn to werewolves. And this book is like 95% Black. Like, I love it. I love it. I think all the werewolves are Black people, actually, now that I think about it. But just beautiful art, really, really good. The storyline was good as well. There were some twists and turns in there, like little tiny ones where I was like, okay, I wasn't really expecting that, but I could kind of see that coming. But I really loved like her newfound family. I loved the story of her mom and her dad and the history about why he's not in the picture, and how they also have vampires in this story. And yes, You guessed it, the vampires are white. But you know, the story of the conflict and the story of the history, it really did kind of mimic, like, you know, African American history in some way. In little tiny ways. Like, really enjoy this. I think that it was done beautifully compared to, and if you remember, I talked about the Okay Witch in the other video where her mother completely just like shut down, didn't want to elaborate on anything about, you know, her lineage and with her being a witch. And it was kind of same setup where it was a town, there were secrets in it, and you know, this young girl was trying to figure out who she was, and one of the things she found out was that she's from a lineage of witches, and her mom just shut her down. Whereas this mama right here, she was like, all right, you know, I was waiting for the right time, but since we're both here under the blue moon, or since we're both under the full moon, let's go ahead and get into it. So I really, really love this, and I thought it was done very, very well. So also there's LGBT representation in here, and it was just done really like flawlessly. Like, it's just beautiful. So please go check Artie and the Wolfmoon. It was really good. Okay, so the next one is like if rom-com meets like magic chaos. This is Doughnuts and Doom, and this, I was surprised. I don't know why I thought this would be in the adult section, but it was definitely in the young adult section, which makes sense now that I said that out loud. But it is between a girl who works at a donut shop, and she is a witch. She is a witch in training. She is trying to get a certification or a license in a certain area to be seen as a witch. And then we have our other our other character who is in a band and with her BFF, and they are trying to make it big. And she walks into her donut shop the day that she fails once again a test that she's taken several times. They're, you know, getting us a little bit of an argument, and sparks literally fly between the two. And you know, chaos happens, and then from there they kind of have to figure out what's next. So I did like this one. It was cute. It was very, very cutesy. I love that there was LGBT representation, specifically lesbian representation here, sapphic. Other than that, there were a few holes in the story. It kind of felt fast forward in a little areas, but it was definitely cute, and I enjoyed it nonetheless. So definitely check out Doughnuts and Doom. I don't know if I disliked it, if it just wasn't for me. So it's called Coming Back, and it is a story about two women. We have Preet and Valisa, and it's a story about discovering oneself, a story about separation, it's a story about love, it's about family, it's about letting go of old traditions and starting anew, and just finding your way in life. I love the art. I will say that the art is phenomenal. I really loved it. The storyline was just a little bit hard to track in certain places. I think I gave this like maybe a 2.5, maybe 3 stars, maybe 2.5 stars on this one specifically, just because the storyline got a little muddled in certain spots. But other than that, I thought that the way it ended was really good, and I enjoyed the way it ended. Got a little confusing in the middle there, but it made its way back. So yeah, I would definitely check out Coming Back. We have our friend Preet right here. She has she's literally magic, and then Valisa is not, and they also have to, as a couple, figure out how to maneuver that in themselves. So it is a good story. It just, the storyline kind of got lost in the middle for me, but check it out. Right, so the next one is Seance Tea Party. And I freaking love this. Go read it. It's actually mine. It's not the library's. It is about Laura. Laura is so sweet, and she is in this in-between teen age where she understands that most of her friends are into guys and making, videos on their cell phone and doing makeup. She just wants to be a kid. She just wants to have tea parties and play and be adventurous outside and talk to her ghosts and, be imaginative. And no one wants to do that right now. They're just into teen things, and she just doesn't want to grow up. She's just not interested in it. She doesn't see why her friends have like kind of stepped into that new phase. And so now that kind of leaves her lonely because she doesn't have anyone. And that's when she ends up finding her ghost friend. Oh, and so her childhood friend pops up again one day, which is a ghost, and she is actually like, she's so excited about it. And the story is so good. The other characters that are involved in the story also make it it's really beautiful. It's just about growing up, the changes that happen, how to let go, how to deal with, ending of something, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a certain space and time in your life, like, and that grief that comes with it and how to move through it. Just is really beautifully written. Like, it was so good. Obviously it was really good, guys. I bought it. So please go check out Seance Tea Party. This was 5 stars for me. I would recommend this to anyone, but specifically teens who are going through changes and who are trying to deal with change. This is a really good one. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, so this next one that I got from my local library is called Wynd. It is about a boy who is living in a space where, in a time where magic is kind of frowned upon, and anybody who has any kind of magic within them is living on the outskirts of the city and is not to be trusted and is kind of seen as a danger or dangerous being or person. And that magic is contagious, and if you get the magic, like, it will turn you into completely this beast that, or a creature or animal. And so Wynd has magic. The place he lives, the mother and daughter know he has magic and help him hide by covering up his ears, because at this point this is the only thing that is pointing out that he's different from the rest. And so it is about him having to be thrust into escaping, finding himself, not being afraid of the magic that he's literally heard people talk about around him since he was little, that is scary and bad, and meeting friends along the way and creating relationships, and just the dangers that lurk outside that honestly aren't the mystical creatures and the people with magic. They're not the dangerous ones. Funny how that always turns out to be the case. But I will say I'd probably give this 2 stars, just because there were some characters in here that I just really, really did not care for, like, at all. Other than that, it was entertaining. Definitely can see why it is a young adult book, probably more on the younger end of it. But I will say that there is LGBT representation here. We love that. And you found family and having to be courageous in difficult times. So it has really good themes in it. I just can't get past one of the characters in there that really irked my nerve. And, if I don't like a character, sometimes it messes up the book for me if their face is in it too much. That's just me. Sorry. But, you might like it. So give it a chance. It is called Sheets. I have been seeing this so much everywhere all the time. Anytime people do graphic novel reviews or what I've read, Sheets always comes up. So I was like, let me go snatch this from the library and read Sheets. And you know what? I was really surprised. I don't know why the art threw me off. I don't know. Maybe it's me, but I kind of feel like the art on the outside threw me off from the art on the inside. And sometimes that happens with graphic novels. I don't know why this specifically does, because it is the same color palette, but it just threw me off. This is a story about Mallory. Mallory runs her family's laundromat services because her dad right now cannot. He is dealing with grief from the loss of her mom. And so she takes care of the laundromat and she takes care of her brother and she goes to school. And it's just really hard for her. Not very many people know what she's going through. She has a couple of teachers at school that are really looking out for her. But as far as creating friendships and stuff, she's struggling in that space. And, she ends up meeting a ghost in her laundromat. And it just kind of causes chaos. I feel like this storyline wasn't for me. I think it's probably enjoyable. It's enjoyable to other people. I just did not enjoy the storyline, but I thought I enjoyed parts of it. I will say that. I will not be getting the second book. I believe there's a second and third book. I won't be reading those because it's just not for me. But you should try it out. Maybe, I didn't like Casper the Friendly Ghost either. Maybe I just have things with ghosts. Maybe. No, that's not true because I loved Seance Tea Party. Maybe I don't like ghosts traditionally that are covered with sheets. Girl, I don't know what it is. It didn't hit with me. So it might hit with you. So go check it out. Okay, so this next one is absolutely mine. It is witty. It is full of fantasy. It is full of adventure. There's sarcasm. There is, I just want the second book. That's all. I want the second book. Tiger is what I am talking about. I freaking love Tiger. This is mine. I bought Tiger on a whim, not really knowing much. I just knew it was about a pampered Victorian noble who dreamed of adventure, and she steals her brother's identity and then steals his boat and was like, I'm gonna go set off and just do great things because I want to study I want to study the sea sponge. Ends up finding out that there's like this whole backstory of a mythological creature of some sort, and there's things in the ocean that she didn't realize was in the ocean, and they end up on her boat. And then it's so good. Now, I believe this was online first. Yeah, this was definitely online, and it is for older, so it's 16 and plus because it does talk about different things. But I love this one, and I'm going to be really sad if they never come out with a physical copy of number 2 because it's just so good. I think some of it is online still if you do want it, but I want it in my hands. It's kind of like Lore Olympus. Like, yeah, it's good. I know it's online, but I want it in my hands. This is one of those. So go check this out if you have not. Tiger book 1. All right, so if you follow... Ooh, I got a little close. So if you follow me on TikTok, on my secret TikTok, because I don't share it a lot, but if you've seen me post this book, Ghost Roast. Oh my gosh, this is mine. This is not the library's. This is so good. I mean, talk about sassy, sarcastic, funny. Like, I feel like Ghost Roast and Artie and the Wolfmoon, like these two, they would have been besties. They would have been like, girl, what we doing tonight? Because it just is so good. So it's about a girl whose dad he goes and traps ghosts. He tries to find paranormal activity around the city and like help out the citizens if they feel that they have a ghost in their house. And then before she thought that was the coolest thing, but now she's a teenager and that's really lame. So she is embarrassed by it, but little does she know, and little does her dad know that, well, where he's using and making and creating all of these gadgets to do his job, she can literally see and communicate with them. And so she finds herself, unfortunately, one summer working for him due to, teenage behavior. And she can see these ghosts where they are at for a specific job. And so a lot of things occur. I really enjoy this one because it's done right. Black culture is done right in here, just like the Black culture was done right in Artie and the Wolfmoon. You can tell when a Black author has written about a Black family or character because of the way there's just certain things you just know. And so both of those, by the way, both of these books were written by Black artists. Black authors. Am I saying artists? I mean, there's art in it, but authors. And it's really good. It's humorous, it's funny, it'll make you laugh, but there are some real things that they talk about, like slavery and how people were treated back in the day, because she's dealing with ghosts, so them ghosts still be racist. So what happens when you run into a racist ghost? We not playing no games. We didn't then, we don't now. So like I said, it's fun, it's entertaining, and I think you would like it. So please check out Ghost Roast. All right, so these next two are comic books, and they're comic books that I should have read when I was a teenager because it would have totally changed the game. Heavy Vinyl. So this is the first one, Heavy Vinyl, Riot on the Radio. And then the second one is Heavy Vinyl, Y2KO. And what it is we have Chris. Chris is just a regular, like young adult, and she thinks she's working at a regular, record shop, and she's not. She quickly finds out that it's just a front. It's a front for literally a girl gang, the vigilante girl gang at that, where they train at night and then they kick ass and then they make shit happen. Oh, and in the first one, definitely a lot of LGBTQ stuff going on in both these books, and I love it. In the first one, she has a crush on one of the girls. I love it. I love that for her. And then the second one, trans representation. Like, where was this when I was a teenager? What? I love it. So if you are interested in like women kicking ass and standing up for women, no matter the age, race, no matter if they're in the LGBT community, and you're a girl's girl, this is the book for you. Sorry, I had to pause. It's still very tender. We're still in November, y'all. So at the recording of this, we're still in November. So it's still new. It's still a fresh room. So yes, go check these out. Badass, amazing, great. I love it. I think you would like it too. So go check these out. Okay. No, I finished that one. I just didn't enjoy it, but I DNF'd this one because I think I'm an old fuddy-duddy. I think I am stuck on the original version of this, and this was just not coming up to par for me, and it was hard for me to digest because it wasn't what I knew. I got Archie, guys. I saw this. I said, I grew up reading Archie comic books. This is how I learned to read. How nostalgic. How wonderful. I think I could do this. And I couldn't. And that's okay. That's okay. That happens sometimes. But I also was like, I'm not going to waste my time trying to read this. I just couldn't get into it. It's a new version of Archie. It's like an older, more edgy, more like now today's version of Archie. Just like if you were to go on a Netflix and you would watch Archie. Or Riverdale, I'm sorry. If you were to go on Netflix and watch Riverdale, it's kind of giving this-esque, not to that exact universe version of it, but I couldn't get into it. I was just like, it's not for me. I hope that the new generation loves this and like really gets pulled into Archie, because Archie is bomb.com. Betty, Veronica, Jughead, Forsyth, that's my homie. Like, Reggie, Do I love Riverdale? Yes, I love Riverdale. They did good with that, but I don't know why I just couldn't get into this version of it. So you might like it. Give it a try. It's out there. It's out there. Maybe not for me, but it's out there maybe for you. So the next two I think would be considered manga. I'm not not entirely sure, but please feel free to correct me. But it is Creepy Cat 1 and 2. The first one is the one with the red writing, and the second one is with the green writing. The reason why I'm not sure, I'm assuming it's manga, is the direction you open and read the book. It's the opposite of traditionally like our books. So you read our books this way, right? If you're holding a book, you read it from right to left. Oh, I'm not right. You read a book from left to right. In manga, if I was doing that, I would be doing it backwards because I'm starting at the end of the book. So manga is faced the other way, and it's from right to left, right? Okay. And just in case somebody out there didn't know that, because I didn't know that until my son started getting books, and I was like, why are they backwards? And that day we meaning me, we learned something new. So, just in case anybody out there didn't know that. Creepy Cat is freaking amazing. It is so cute. It is so cute. It is literally about a girl who her name is Flora, and she moves into this mysterious mansion, and she thinks she's by herself, which she is not. She is not. And she ends up realizing that there is a creepy cat that lives there, and it's just like these little stories, little mini stories that are kind of like, I don't know, they're just many different separate stories. Some of them are connected, but of her experiences with this creepy cat and her in this mansion. And besides the creepy cat, she's also not alone in that mansion. And so you get to see things aspire, and it's just funny. It's hilarious. My kid is he also read these, and I would hear him bust out laughing, and it's funny. There's a lot of funny things in here. It's really cute, cozy. If you like kind of like creepy, like spooky vibes, like this is a cute spooky vibe, but not too much. Definitely hit. So this is book 1 and 2. I really enjoyed this. I know there's more than 2, so we'll probably get them from the library again, but go check out Creepy Cat. Super cute. So before I continue with the last couple of books that I have, I want to highly encourage you, if you purchase your books, if you are a book reader, typically one of the places that we like to purchase them is from Amazon, right? That is one of the places I would purchase my books from because it's fast, you get it fast, it's a lot cheaper, etc. But then I quickly realized I was putting money into Jeff Bezos' pockets, and also I was skipping out on being able to put that money back into independent bookstores. And so as much as I'm like, hey, you guys go help out your local bookstores, go to your local libraries, here I am buying on Amazon. So I want to definitely lead by example, which is why you may have noticed in my descriptions I don't list Amazon for books anymore. I list bookshop.com. And so bookshop.com is very amazing in the way that it specifically 100% gives all its money to the specific bookstore that you have chosen, independent bookstore that you have chosen to give into. And what I really like about it is that you get to choose based on your search engine or your address, or if you want to choose and try and find an LGBTQ owned independent bookstore, Black owned, woman owned, Latinx owned, etc. You can put that in the search engine and support that bookshop, which I thought was so dope. so dope, because sometimes it is hard for us to find, or sometimes the internet, when we Google it, we're only given a couple, where there are tons and tons that are out there that are needing support and that aren't very much spoken out about, not because that they aren't important and they don't have really good book selections, but just because they're kind of overrun by the big guys in the big leagues. Not saying you cannot purchase your books from there, but if you are wanting to kind of support your fellow independent bookstore, this is another very good option to consider. So if you're looking for more information on that, please check it out in the description below. I am working on making sure I am putting my money into the businesses that are important to me, and I am living in community with those who are also giving to the community that I'm in. And this is just one of the ways I really want to do that, by sharing the information. So if that interests you, do it. If it's not, you ain't got to worry about it. It's cool. But with that being said, let's get back into the rest of the video. If you have not read this book, where have you been? HeartStopper. OMG. So to be honest, I actually saw the show on Netflix, the first season, before I even knew it was a graphic novel. And then I was at the store and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to have this in my collection. So I got the first one and I love it. Boy meets boy, boys become friends, boys fall in love. It is so sweet and tender, and just about, figuring out who you are. So we have our two main characters, Charlie and Nick. Charlie is super shy, and Nick is kind of like a pretty popular dude. He's a rugby player, and they end up having to be in each other's space a little bit more, and they slowly but surely start liking each other. But Charlie honestly doesn't think that Nick would ever be interested, and it just goes through specifically Charlie learning to stick up for himself, to know his worth, and to be okay to allow himself to really truly be vulnerable with someone and fall in love, because sometimes it is right, sometimes you do get the right person. And so yeah, it was super cute. I loved it. I went and actually got the second one. I have not read yet, and I can't wait to read it. Please go check out HeartStopper and also watch it on Netflix. It's just as cute. All right, so this next story is about a girl who moves into a town. Her name is Izzy, and she relocates to Sleepy Hollow. And if you like a new version of an oldie, this is definitely up your alley, especially if you like Sleepy Hollow, you like the creepiness, you like all of that kind of stuff. So Izzy is kind of very much annoyed by how big into Sleepy Hollow and the story and the headless horseman the whole town is. She happens to move during, of course, the fall season, and she just thinks it's hilarious and cheesy how the town just goes in and out about it. Well, that is until she actually runs into the headless horseman, and he asks her for help. So this story was really cute, really fast read. It was enjoyable, and a great twist to an old tale. So these were all the young adult graphic novels that I have currently finished reading, whether my own or from the library, and my thoughts on them. Let me know if you've read any of these before, or that you currently have ones that you think I might like based on what I said about these. And with that being said, I'm looking forward to now in my next video getting into the adult graphic novels that I have read and enjoyed. And so with that being said, friends, thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you next time you visit.